Welcome to Formal Fitness, everybody. I am your host, Jim Dandy, and today we are talking about BMIs. So first off, what is a BMI? Well, BMI stands for Body Mass Index, and it is the way we calculate our body's mass. That is broken into muscle and fat and other things like bone density and things like that. That's so like when you get on the scale, you get that number, you know, whatever it is. For me currently it's 176. What the BMI does is it breaks that down. Well, how much of that 176 is fat? How much of it is muscle? And how much of it is, you know, other things? So first I'm going to show you how to calculate that number. Then I'm going to talk about ranges and what your BMI number means based on, you know, what it is. So first of all, we've got our handy dandy calculator once more. We're going to start with our weight. Our weight is 176. Now from there, similar to calculating our weight range, we're going to subtract our age again. For me that's 36, so that gives me 140. And this time we're going to divide our height instead of adding it. So we want to see how many times our height goes into this number. So that's, for me, 5'10", well, 5'9.5", so we'll do 5'9". And that gives me 23.7 and a whole bunch of numbers, but you really just want to look at that 23.7. The other numbers are kind of irrelevant. So 23.7, that is my number. I will give you guys a second to calculate yours. So now we're going to talk about the BMI index itself. You can probably find charts online places that give you an estimation of, you know, ranges. But anything under an 18 is considered underweight, averagely, depending, you know, on your height. You know, the taller you are and the less you weigh, you're going to look more frail. It's more about appearances. You're going to look kind of frail, you're going to look undernourished. If you're building muscle, you know, that muscle weighs some too, so that's going to kind of affect that BMI number. Anything from 18 to 25 is considered a normal range. If you're between like 23 and closer to 25 where I'm at, you're borderline, but you're still okay. I'm working on getting that number down again. I used to be like a 15 before everything happened this year, so I'm getting there. Now, 25 to 30, that is considered overweight. Now some of you can be at like a 25 or 26 and not look much bigger than me, but you're still health-wise considered overweight. And anything over 30 is obese. The closer you get to like 40 and up, that's where you get into that morbidly obese range. Those are the kind of people you see on those TLC shows, the, you know, that get the surgeries, and yeah, they're in that like really high range. So those are the ranges. I don't like to calculate that number too often. You'll notice it doesn't fluctuate as often as you would think, you know, when you're losing some on the scale. Because you can go down some on the scale, but you're building muscle, so that number is going to stay up a little bit. Or, you know, you have the opposite, where you're losing, like, you know, water weight, things like that, but you're not really losing like fat. So that number may still kind of stay where it is. So I like to take it as I do everything else. You know, when I check the scale, when I'm checking my measurements, you know, maybe a month or two, that's when I go back to that BMI and I want to see where that number has gone down some. And you can kind of feel it too. You can feel when you've lost some weight and you've gotten healthier. You can kind of feel you're carrying less on you. That weight isn't holding you down as much. You can just kind of feel it. But it's good to know where your number is now, and it's good to know where your number should be based on your height and your age. For me, that number is around 15, like I said, as a maintainable number. I could get lower at one point. I think I got down to a 12, but that was a little too much for me. So yeah, 15 is kind of my number. Like I said, there's charts online to look that up. But if you can get between like an 18 or a 20, that's a good average number. And anything like around 20 is a pretty maintainable number through regular diet and exercise, not having to exhaust yourself to get to a lower number. So that is the BMI. As always, like and subscribe at the bottom. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And until next time, this is Jim Davey signing off.